Welcome to Mastering Strategic Alignment. Hi, I am Dr. Mario Wallace, the instructor for this course. This training is to augment the skills of emerging leaders and anyone who seeks to develop their skills as a strategist. The information that I am sharing in this course prepares you to be an expert strategist in your organization and gives you the visibility as a leader. Strategic alignment is the process of coordinating individual business units to create value for an organization. The coordination of business units to a corporate strategic plan leverages the products, services, technologies, and competencies of an organization to advance its goals and initiatives. To begin the process of strategic alignment, you must begin by cascading strategic objectives. There are two approaches for this, top-down and bottom-up. When you think of the executive leadership and board member approach to strategy, you think of a portfolio of investments. You determine how should a corporate portfolio be rolled out across an organization. The executive collectively decides how to do this. Top-down versus bottom-up. The top-down approach to cascading begins with the collective thoughts of the senior leadership team. The approach is portfolio-centric. The bottom-up approach to cascading begins with the business units. This approach is business unit-centric. From a bottom-up perspective, which happens more often, individual business unit leaders develop their own strategies, and they work on their strategies for at least a year. Based on the most critical priorities in the business unit, strategies and priorities that directly support the corporate agenda become a part of the overall corporate strategy. However, before these priorities become a part of the corporate strategy, they must be fully tested and vetted to ensure that they are the right priorities for the corporate agenda. Before beginning the process of aligning an organization is to understand the organization strategy, and that begins with understanding the organization's strategy map. Here is a strategy map. The goal of strategic alignment is to align an organization first by cascading the objectives from the corporate strategy down to each business unit. If the executive leadership team is taking a top-down approach to strategy, they must refer to a strategy map like this one and ask this question for each of the business units. Which one of these strategic objectives should cascade down to business unit A, B, C, or D? Not all the strategic objectives will cascade down to each business unit. In fact, there may be around 30% of the corporate objectives that cascade down to each business unit. But you must use a strategy map to determine which strategic objectives cascade down to a business unit. After determining the strategic objectives for each business unit, you must use this approach. There are three cascading approaches for alignment: duplication, extension, and new. For duplication, the corporate strategic objectives cascade to the business unit's map or child map verbatim, meaning I will copy and paste the corporate objectives to the child's map. If you look at the colors here for the duplication objectives, their colors are the exact same. For extension, the corporate objectives may not be specifically or directly for a business unit, but to advance the corporate strategy, the business unit must indirectly support it. If you look at the colors for the extension objectives, their colors are slightly different. This shows that the business unit has the green light to extend the objective. For new, the color of the corporate objective is a totally different color than the business unit. This means that the business unit develop a strategic objective that indirectly contribute to the corporate objective, meaning the strategic objective indirectly supports the corporate strategy, but it's specifically developed to support the business unit's mission and vision. So, we go through a process of putting it all together using the cascading metric. This is a tool used by the CEO and executive leaders in an organization. We determine which corporate objectives we want to duplication. We mark an X in the duplication column and write in the corporate objectives that will be duplicated in the far column on the same row. Then we do this same process vertically down the matrix. We may want the next corporate objectives in the row to be new for the business unit that indirectly support the corporate strategy, then the next one can be extended, then the next one new again. The first objective reads maximize return on human capital investment. It will be copied and pasted in the far corner of the matrix. The next one reads, provide a strategic support to business to attain their business goals. This is a new one that lead the initiative and strategy review meetings for assigned business unit. Although it's new, it supports the corporate objective. The next one reads align HR planning to the institution strategy. This is any extension, and it reads align the HRBP's plan with the HR plan. The languages were changed to align with both the business unit and the corporate strategy. Lastly, the corporate objective is to build staff strategic competency and bench strength. This one is a new objective, and it means educate all functional managers on strategy execution and change management. Since the objective is new, it is written differently and directly supports the business unit strategy and indirectly supports the corporate strategy. Tip: this activity must be completed by the CEO, the president, or the chancellor, and the accompanying strategist. The leader who is responsible for executing the business unit strategy must also be present. Thank you for joining the Mastering Strategic Alignment course. Dr. Mario Wallace. Website: allthingsstrategic.org. Email: info@allthingsstrategic.org.